All right, this is Mr. Arnold again, back at it with the tutorial videos. Today we're going to talk about the different practice techniques that are on the back of your practice log. The first one that's not written on there is clapping and counting. Super simple, so we'll do that with number 11. You would verbally say what the numbers are underneath here the whole time, pretty consistent, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and with a steady tempo, and then you would clap the notes when you play, and then you just kind of put your hands out and count while you do the rest. So I'll demonstrate that for number 11 by hitting the table, since I can't hold a phone and clap at the same time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1, and then you'd repeat it as it says. The next practice technique we see listed on the back of the practice log is additive, and I'll just kind of play this one while I hold the camera. But the way it works is you basically start with one note and add another one once that note is good. So I'll do that with number 12 here. Actually, let's do 13. Now let's say that third note, because it didn't sound good. I'm not going to move on, no point in adding a note to that yet. I'm just going to start over. Cool, now I'll add another one. And you get the idea. The next one is airing and fingering. This is something we do a lot in class, but is essentially you do everything like you play the instrument. So you hold it up, you finger along, and you blow air, but you're about 6 inches away from the horn, so you're not actually making sound on the instrument. You're just blowing air, starting with your tongue and fingering along and doing that rhythmically as if you're playing it. I realized after watching the videos that I didn't thoroughly explain air and finger. So I will try and show you while holding the phone and fingering along. This is going to be tricky. Okay, so you're going to hear me airing. You're going to see my fingers fingering the notes for number 13 as if I'm playing. So number 13 sounds like this very quickly. And then it repeats. I won't do that right now. If I were to air and finger this, it would look and sound like this. Righteous. Slow motion, another pretty straight ahead one. You just go very slow as you need to in order to be successful with it. If you're missing notes, then you're going too fast, go slower, and then you just progressively get faster and faster. I won't demonstrate that because it takes a long time, and I think you get the idea with that. Chunking is a little more complicated one. Basically, you're breaking it down into bite-sized pieces, so that might be 2 notes at a time, or a measure at a time, or 2 measures at a time. So I won't do it, but I'll demonstrate, or I'll kind of show you how to do it. You could do just the first measure, play that a few times, just this measure, play it a few times, just this measure, play it a few times, just this measure, play it a few times. Then make it a bigger chunk, just these 2 measures, play it until it's good, just these 2 measures, play it till it's good. And then you can put the whole chunk into that. And you could break it down even more and just do 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 measures, 1 measure, etc., etc. And the final practice technique that isn't listed here, but is kind of a fun one that we incorporate later on in the year, and I might as well just explain it now, is simply called teaching. And it's where you can teach a new concept, technique, or fingering to a friend, sibling, or parent. And I specifically write on there, do not let irresponsible siblings or friends hold your instruments. So doesn't necessarily need to be, actually playing the instrument. It could simply be, let me explain to you how key signatures work, or time signatures, or reading the rhythms. And if you want to teach a parent how to play your instrument, that's fine, or you want to teach like an older sibling, but there should be no toddlers handling your instrument because they're worth a lot of money. Anyway, if you have any questions about this process, feel free to reach out and I'm happy to answer them. Bye-bye.